Great. So we're quite a small crowd here today, but nevertheless, here's the mind map I've put together for this copywriting session. And we're going to start looking at elements of persuasion, which is not necessarily relating to copywriting, but to persuasion. And they're important because they're what drives a sale. And these are reciprocity, commitment, liking, authority, social proof, and scarcity. And you can't employ all of them in a sales letter. And this is more if you're going to sell your own products rather than to sell copywriting itself. So reciprocity tells us that when we offer something to somebody, they feel that it's necessary for them to give us something back in return. So basically, if you give away a free report or a free piece of software or something like that, the receiver will be more likely to buy your product when you launch them. So that's pretty much it, and it works. Moving on to commitment. So once somebody has verbally or in writing committed to doing something, they are much more likely to actually doing it. So if you have a pre-launch thread, for instance, it would be really great if you could somehow email your list and tell them to write their thoughts about your product in the pre-launch thread, because this will somehow get them committed to your launch and they're much more likely to actually buy your product, and this works. Moving on to liking, this is what the sales letter usually does. It puts you in your prospects, your readers' shoes, sort of. So you basically, I used to be like you. I didn't know how to earn money online, but now I do. So they start to like you. This guy was like me, but he's now successful, so I can be too. I definitely like him. Authority. This is you basically do this by showing proof and by knowing what to do. So this comes with the territory. Social proof are testimonials that you need to put in the copy, and the more emotional the testimonials, the better, because people love emotions. They buy. Most of them buy on an impulse. So if they love what they're seeing, they're going to buy it. And scarcity, you've seen this all the time. We only have five spots left, or this is going down in 7 days, or price increases with every X sales, and so on. So these all are elements of persuasion, and they work in every area of making sales, not necessarily online, not necessarily copywriting. But if you're in the sales business, these 6 elements will definitely help you. Now, this was sort of an introduction, and let's get to the actual copywriting itself. I've put together a mind map, and I'm going to share the PDF version of it with you after this session is over. And basically, you start with the headline, and in the pre-headline, you pose a question. Usually, the question starts with something like, are you sick and tired of X? And then in the headline, it goes the main benefit. Finally revealed, how to, and then your benefit. And then sub-headline is an additional benefit, so something like, finally revealed how to make money with Fiverr, and then additional benefit in just 7 days, right? And the question, the pre-headline could be, are you sick and tired of all those Fiverr guides that just don't work? And then finally revealed, Fiverr cracked, and the sub-headline, make money in just 7 days. And then it's a letter, it's a sales letter, so you need to open it like a sales letter, like from, and then your name, and attach a formal picture. And this is important because, in the end, we're going to put an informal picture of us, and the reader will actually get the feeling that, they know us now after they've read our sales letter, and it's directly related with liking. It's persuasion. So in the sales letter, you open the sales letter with a formal pic, and then you have sort of an introduction of who you are, what you do, and how you went from being like your prospect reader, so from not knowing how to do what your product teaches you to do, from knowing it, right? And this is important because again it hits some pain points in your reader, and he realizes, oh yes, I want that, this guy was like me again, and now he's successful, so if he managed to do it, I can as well. And then you start with something like, does any of this sound familiar, and then you put some problems in bullet points, and you need to handpick those problems so that they will perfectly fit the solutions that you'll offer later. So basically, let's keep with the Fiverr guide. Are you sick and tired, or are you tired of posting several gigs but not making a sale? And then the solution that will come later, and I'll show you, would be like, learn how to drive sales automatically, or something like that. And 5 of those work best. You can have only 3 if those are like really, really good, or if you really can't find some of the better features that your product offers, so you can put questions for those. You can go to 7, so 3 to 7, by 5 works best. And then after you list those problems, you say they know that you used to be like them, and then you say something like, but then I cracked the code, and it shows the point where you went from being like them to being successful. And it usually, you want to have an element of luck, so they don't think you worked really, really hard or something like that. They want to think that you were lucky, so that they can be lucky as well. This guy just happened to make a lot of money with Fiverr without knowing anything, and now I know what he knows, so I'll make even more money, right? That's how they think. Moving on to proof, you need to have some proof, whether it's your own proof, your client's proof, or testimonials. And again, emotional responses work best. And for proof, you want proof that improves over time. So if it's like traffic related, you want that the traffic grows, constantly over a period of time, not just one spike or something like that, right? And if you don't have your own proof, you can get a beta tester or something like that, or you can use it with some clients, or get some reviews in the Warrior forum and get some testimonials, right? Because proof is important. And just now you introduced the product, so basically everything up to this point was the setup, was to get your reader excited about your product without even knowing what your product is. And now you're announcing it, you're introducing the product, you're putting a name on it, and it's important to have like an appealing name and to repeat it constantly throughout your sales letter so that it sticks with your reader. You need to have a visual representation, whether it's an ebook cover, a product cover, a video if it's software. I don't know, not headline, I wanted to say header. Let's edit it here. A header image, like a logo or something like that. And then a short paragraph describing what the product actually is. So is it an ebook? Is it a video series guide? Is it software? And so on. And then you state the benefits. And these 5 benefits will solve the exact 5 problems that you wrote earlier. So learn how to drive sales automatically with Fiverr and the like. And you need to quote a cash value for each. So first benefit, learn how to drive sales automatically, and this part of the course is worth $97 or something like that. And you do this with every one of your offerings, each one of your benefits basically. So, and then you add all those numbers up, and your readers will see this very, very high dollar amount, and they'll panic. Well, wait just a moment, I don't have hundreds or thousands of dollars to pay for this course. But then you say, don't worry, it's going to be much less, but you just don't reveal the price now yet. You let them think that it's a very, very valuable product that you're offering for a very, very, very cheap price. And you get to the bonuses, and the bonuses should amplify the effect of the main product. So don't kitchen sink it. Don't make the bonuses more important or more valuable than the actual product. They should amplify the effect of the main product, and each bonus should have a cash value as well, so that in the end, when you actually announce the price, you add up all cash values, the value of the main product itself, and then the bonuses, and you stick that crazy high dollar amount in their face, and then you reveal the extremely low price. And you're telling them you don't have to pay the full price, not even a half, not even a quarter of that. And then you actually stick the actual dollar amount that they have to pay. And then the guarantee is that check it out, and then if you want to get back to and state the problem here to not making any money with Fiverr, then that's okay. It's your decision and I refund you. But you have 30 days. And that's more than enough to check out the whole product and then decide if you want to keep it. And if you go a little bit fast, you can actually make money by the end of those 30 days. So just actually, those standard guarantees that you see all the time in sales threads, they work too, but this works best, it helps drive even more sales. And then urgency, open for just 7 days, and then the price rises with every sale, and you just have a dime sale or something like that. You put even more proof, testimonials, reviews, video testimonials work better because people want to see. People are they like visual stuff. And then here's what you get again. You reiterate the biggest problem and reoffer the biggest solution. So you're getting the definite guide to solving all your Fiverr problems. And then you have your first buy button here, and you need to make it an emotional call to action, something that you want this. And then you end the letter. You thank your audience for reading your letter, and you put an informal picture. And then you have a PS. There's proof this works. There's a full guarantee. If you don't buy, things will stay the same or even get worse, and don't let that happen to you. And then the second buy button goes here, and don't regret when the price is much higher or even completely off the market, right? And that's basically fear that fuels the reader into paying. So if they're not convinced by logic and emotion on your first buy button here, they will be convinced by fear here, right? So that's basically people who you convince with logic and emotion buy here, and they don't see this part. So they don't think this guy is pushing it too much, right? Let's go back to the price a bit. So when you actually tell the price, wait here. So when you tell the price, right, you can say it's going to be much less than all the price you're seeing here is going to be much less than what my friends in the industry told me I should charge for this. It's going to be much less than if you hired me to do coaching with you one-on-one, and basically justify that your price is usually 10 times less than the actual value of the product. So if you're doing a $10 product, you should be able to justify a $100 value. And if you can't do that, then use the coaching stuff. If you were to hire me for 1 hour of my time, then that would be at least $100. Or even better, you could say, if you were to learn this all by yourself, it would take you weeks or months of your time, and you would lose a lot of money in the process. I'm doing it for you. Buy now, right? So this is basically how a sales letter should be, and I'm going to send you a link to a sales letter from Dr. Ben Atkins that follows this exact mind map. Actually, it's not this exact mind map, but you'll see that all of these points are employed successfully there. So let me just type the link there. I think this is it. So you should have received it, and the design of the sales letter is not that great, but the copywriting is amazing. So check it out, and I think that's it. It was pretty quick. Do you have any questions? On the sales letter, on persuasion, anything? Nothing. So let me type this again. This is the sales letter that Dr. Ben Atkins uses. You can also check my sales letters because I obviously use the same technique. But everybody knows Dr. Ben, so maybe he's a bigger authority than I am. So check his stuff out. And any questions? No? I was going to do a separate email training for you guys, so probably next week. But yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'll have a separate mind map for you then next week. Great, thanks. So now, did you get my question above? Yes, clear, thank you. So yes, we're going to have a separate email marketing session next week, and it's going to be it's going to have how to mail, when to mail, what to mail, right? So for an affiliate promo, how to do a 4-day promo or a 7-day promo and so on, I'll have a mind map for that, what to mail on the pre-launch date, what to mail on the actual launch day, and then how to use scarcity in order to close the sale. Because people see the offer, but then they decide, yeah, I'll check it later. So you want to remind them, and I'll show you how, right? So I'll have a separate training for that. Yes, Mary, I just answered them. Just answered. Yeah, I'll have a separate email training next week, probably. So, is everything all right now? Any other questions? Okay, great, I think. So, this was pretty fast. I'll have this recording over to you later this day or tomorrow, and I'll save this mind map in PDF format and send it to you. So that's great, guys. Thanks for being here. I actually booked this GoToWebinar session for 1.5 hours, but I think if I answered everything and you're happy, then that's great. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.